This week, we dive into some of the gnarliest mountain biking happening on the planet right now. We've also got a great video to discuss from Caleb Holonko, Sam Pilgrim and Lubo cracking us up with side hack action, and a cool trials video coming in hot from Italy. We've got the news, we've got your bikes, and plenty more.
All coming up or down on today's Dirt Shed Show.
We did it, Steve!
Yeah.
We did it! I'm so proud of us. Yes, welcome to this week's Dirt Shed Show, where I'm joined by none other than Steve Jones. Hello, Steve.
I'm Martyn. Very kind of you to invite us onto the show.
Yes, great to have you. And of course, over there on the couch, we've got Chris Smith as well. Yo. It's like an EMBN takeover.
We haven't taken over yet, but we might do.
They were just doing their show, and I said, come on, come and join me, lads. I want to talk about some of these amazing rock rolls. Have you guys seen this? Actually,
crazy,
so good. First one I want to talk about is Brendan Fairclough riding this crazy line in the Swiss Alps. He spots this line, and what I love about this is how hard he worked to get up there. We've all done this. Have you done this, Steve, where you just try so hard just to ride a little bit of mountain biking?
It does, and do you know what? It kind of has echoes of sort of snow-free skiing, doesn't it?
Yes,
do you know
it
what I
does.
mean? Where, you know, you see these guys go up these insane places in the middle of nowhere just simply for the ride down, and I mean, it's kind of laced with dangers, isn't it? I mean, it is a roll. It's a roll. It's a kind of free fall in some respects, isn't it?
It is,
because you don't, you know, sometimes you know what's down there, sometimes you don't know. It's full commitment. You don't know what the traction is. You know, surfaces come into it. So you know, we look at these rock slabs, but you can equally have, you know, maybe stuff on dirt as well, can you, Chris?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with all of these things that you see in the videos is the actual steepness of those things. I can guarantee that will be 10 times as steep as what it seems on camera. Dropping into those things is so scary.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, and that brings me on. I mean, look how hard Brendan worked to get to that slab.
Mark, now, it's nice to see him doing a bit of graft, though. You know what I mean?
It's nice to see
lovely.
Him work. It's a good point. It's a good
lovely.
Point. Yeah, it's
I
nice
mean, Brendan's been working.
Yeah, usually quite lazy guy. But if you think that's hard, well, getting to this one from Remy Metailler, this one looks like it's easy to get to, but the hard bit is making yourself ride off the edge. Look at that. Look at that.
Crazy, isn't it? The stuff that he does out there in Squamish is...
Would you do that, Steve?
That's the question, though, isn't it? That's the question. You see what Remy does there. I mean, I'm very... It's the location. It is such a stunning location. But, you know, we've seen it in Sedona on the White Line. I mean, there's many kind of rock... You know, that's the thing. A rock ride, a rock roll, a rock slab. It comes in so many guises, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But what I love about it is just that commitment. Now, Chris, I know you do it. You're an idiot.
Oh, you put my name down for that.
Yeah, but what do you do when you get to that point? You're going to roll off that rock. Because I've not done much rock rolling myself. How do you make yourself? How do you know it's going to grip? That's what I'm worried about.
I don't think there's any grip, is there?
I don't think you do get the grip. The main thing is coming up to it is being able to get into that zone where you can literally turn your brain off. It's going to say, no, don't do it. But you've got to commit to it. And
that's
if you start,
why you can do
it. turn your brain off at the last minute. But no, you just got to be confident in your abilities and know from the previous stuff you've ridden that it is doable. And
so the key thing what Chris said there is you're going to be confident in your ability to turn your brain off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident in your ability to turn your brain off. I've spoke to you loads of times.
But it's not. You don't turn your brain off. You just got to cancel out that fear of your body saying that you can't do it, whereas you know you actually can. And if the physics are there and the actual angle of the slope you're riding does match up with what is possible, then you can do it.
Do you know one thing I know is you're not doing physics.
What worries me, and Mart, you know, you've ridden down a gazillion rock slabs or features in your life.
Not like that one, I haven't. That's scary.
But what gets me is, like, at what point does that back wheel overtake the front wheel?
I'm never worried about that.
No.
I'm never worried about that.
I think riders like BMX riders riding vert ramps, that is literally vertical at the top of those ramps. So as long as you've got that transition to take you out, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
But that's my point, is that when you're going down something like that and there isn't that transition like you've got in a skate park, you know, it's a bit more natural than an environment like that. And stuff that can kick your back wheel. It's risky.
I like the idea of Brendan here. Look, he's climbing up the rock. I like climbing up it because then you're seeing it as you're going.
Imagine riding up there, Mark. Imagine that. Oh, you could ride up there on one of those.
Here we go.
Now,
E-bike sermon coming up.
Well, I mean, I'm with you. I'm a bit of an e-biker myself, as you know.
Crikey, stick him a coat.
You're fine.
Didn't think I'd be in this environment.
You're fine. What is interesting is actually riding up some of the stuff. That can be scarier. I mean, I find that really frightening. Sometimes when you're climbing up something, if it all goes wrong, it's all behind you and there's no escape. You've ridden up some steep stuff, you boys.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Because I think the whole thing with when you're riding up, and we've looked at some slabs over the past 5 years, once you commit to going up a slab, then the danger is the higher up you get, if you snap your chain or something goes wrong, you're not sliding down that slab, you're tumbling down it.
Yeah, well, you took a nasty.
Do you remember that small rock?
Well, Chris, whoa, hold on. We're talking rock slabs and we're talking rock.
Oh, come on.
No, but the crash.
This is more than
we're talking crash and we're talking fall.
Yeah, but put this fall, this crash, where he got a nasty cut. Got a nasty cut on his finger.
Cut.
Nearly lost the top of my finger, I'll have you know.
He didn't nearly lose the top of his finger. He cut his finger anyway.
I didn't realise I'm on a drama show.
So imagine that crash at the top of that slab that Brendan's on. Oh. You're a dead man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, nasty.
Biggest death slide
really
ever.
Unfortunately. What's the hardest rock roll you've done, Chris?
Going up, probably the slab down in Bristol, Clifton.
Yeah.
That going up, we've done that just recently. Actually, done it on an e-gravel bike, which was pretty scary compared to the mountain bikes. And the big dam out in Malaga as well. The one that we see a lot of those guys, the extreme sports guys, like Pilgrim,
look at this.
and loads of guys have done like the speed record down it. But we actually rode up it, and that was pretty full on.
Yeah, the dam was good. For me, Mart, I think two stick to mind is. There's a rock outcrop in North Wales, which me and Chris did, but the exposure there was like horrible. You can't get it. The problem again is like if the chain snaps off, you slip a pedal, then you get like an 800-foot drop. And another one I did actually was out in Israel. Wasn't rock; it was actually like a very fine sort of dust. And again, it's a long way down, and maybe you're not going to die, but you're going to get some bad
You're going to have a nasty crash.
Okay, Mark, what about your rolls? I mean, you must have done some iron rolls, concrete rolls, bog rolls.
I've done all of them. I tell you what, the most recent rock roll that I really enjoyed is I was in Whistler recently on the Bowhead, and I tried to ride this trail, and we had a big rock roll at the top. It's on a trail called Original Sin. It's quite a famous trail in Whistler, and I loved that. That was brilliant fun. And that's sort of the closest thing I can imagine to what we see Remy doing there. But what's the hardest one you've ever seen, Chris?
I think you can't discount G Atherton out of this. You literally blew my mind with this. This was back probably early 90s, early 2000s. We come across this big rock rolling in the quarry down by me, and I was like, if you do it, G, I'll do it with you after. Yeah. And honestly, there was rock climbers going up this thing, using ropes to go up. And honestly, it's so big, you can't actually comprehend how big it is. And he dropped into it, kind of found his grip on the way down. I wasn't even confident he was going to slow down. And the transition was absolutely awful. He blew his feet off the pedals, the bike bottomed out, he hit his ass in the back tyre, bull rode like on his balls across the road after it. But he rode down it, and Steve Bear got some amazing shots. And I think that is probably one of the most standout things I've ever seen in mountain biking.
Amazing. That is crazy stuff.
I think visually, for me, I think the one out in, I think it's in Arizona, I think Brett Tippie and the boys did it, but it looks, it's a head-on shot.
Yeah, that.
And I'm like, for me, that's one of the most iconic kind of rock rolls.
Definitely.
It's like, because it looks like, oh my God, they're going down a cliff. Yeah. And I'm like, you can see him picking up speed.
The transition just takes him out. Nice,
that one is epic. That does look great, and it's got that fear factor of like going off either side, and love it. I mean, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think's the gnarliest line you've seen anyone ride? Have we touched on it here today? It's really cool to think about these rides, and would you do it? I always wonder that. If I got to the edge, would I go over? Yeah.
I think you went over long ago, Mark.
What's up, everyone? The news this week is full of some exciting new bikes. First up, we've got the We Are One Arrival 170, which has already been ridden to great success on the EWS circuit under Canadian Jack Menzies. The brand are still doing all of their manufacturing in Canada, keeping all the metal and carbon work as local as possible, but have scaled up their 152 design for the rigors of fast-paced enduro racing with some tweaks to the chassis and a hard-hitting build kit. New bikes from Merida as well. The 140 is aimed at the do-it-all trail rider and the 160 aimed more at the enduro crowd. The 160 can accommodate mixed wheels, which bumps the travel out back to 172mm, and both new frames are available in either carbon fiber or what Merida call aluminium light. Heaps of builds and colours available on these bikes as well, and the prices beginning as low as £2,250 for the 140 and £2,750 for the 160. The last new bike to talk about this week is the latest in a long line of Santa Cruzes to get a tweak, the Tallboy. Described as the Downhiller's XC bike, the Tallboy has had its geometry and kinematics refined and has also gained a glove box on the carbon versions, of which there are 11 builds available. There's also 2 aluminium builds, one in a golf racing inspired colourway and another tasteful one called Flat Earth. This weekend saw enduro racing action as the Enduro World Series made its way to the fast, flowy and loamy slopes of Crans-Montana in Switzerland. Flat-out bike park stages give way to steep-cut single track with plenty of natural features, and as the penultimate round of the season, it was more important than ever that riders kept off those coward levers and held it wide open. Isabeau Courdurier took the win in the women's just 6 seconds ahead of Hattie Harnden, who looked to be storming away with the win earlier in the day, until a flat tyre almost destroyed her wheel. She finished the race with a tube and cable ties holding her spokes together and the tyre on the rim. Morgan Shaw was just as consistent as ever, bagging third. Jack Moyer took the win in the men's race, the reigning champ's first round win of the season. It's great to see Martin Mays back on the podium once again as well in second, and Kevin McKell landed in the third spot, equaling his career best, his first podium since Ludenville last year. Speaking of Ludenville, the series overalls will be wrapped up there this weekend, and I've been crunching some numbers. Math isn't my strong point, but let's hope this is all right. Riders can score a maximum of 500 points per round. That's 450 for a round win, 25 for Pro Stage, 25 for Queen Stage. Now, Isabeau Courdurier is free and clear, 545 points in front of second place Morgan Shaw, who also looks pretty comfortable, 390 points up on Bex Perona, who's currently third. It is tight behind Bex though, with both Connolly and Harnden breathing down her neck, just 30 points separating the three. If Shaw doesn't finish or finishes outside of the points, she could lose her second and potentially even a third spot to one of those 3 riders. Now for the men's, Jesse Melamed is 495 points up on Richie Rude. For Richie to win, he would need to take all 3 victories, the Pro Stage, Queen Stage, and the main event. Plus, Jesse would have to finish outside of the top 90 or so to score less than 5 points and lose the title. Now, both of these riders had big crashes in Crans-Montana, so will be hurting this week. But Richie has been the bridesmaid in Ludenville twice. If anyone can pull this off, I reckon it's him. Waiting in the wings, Martin Mays, Ed Masters, and Jack Moyer. Any combination of those guys could secure second or third in the overall this weekend. Riders are going to be full gas to secure Pro Stage and Queen Stage wins for sure. Jesse could in fact wrap this up on the Saturday, and Jack has won here twice last year.
This week's sickest thing has to be this insane new video from Caleb Holonko and Kona called Lights Out. Right, so in 2004, Kenny Smith and Carl Norbrighton built this insane on-off lily pad feature, and it just stayed dormant for like all this time up until this year when Johan Borelli and his crew and all these like super gnarly dudes hit it, and the internet was like, whoa, this is like so insane. And then Caleb just come along and jumped the entire thing. Anyway, after that, I almost stopped watching because like, why would you put the banger at the start? The banger's supposed to go at the end, duh. But wait, there is a banger. He backflipped the Kenny Smith train gap, like one of the most iconic spots of all time. A backflip down the train gap. Just want to say shout out to Ollie for capturing this on camera and say it's definitely worth watching this video. I'm interested to know what people think is actually the sickest out of these 2 clips and why. Right, that's my sickest thing this week. Time to go back to the shed.
Thank you, Tom and Toff. That's fantastic. I tell you what else is fantastic, guys. Did you know there's a GMBN shop?
I didn't.
Well, there is a GMBN shop, and we've got an autumn deal on at the moment. If you buy a casual, you get another casual tee or whatever product you're buying, half price. Whoa. How's that? That's not bad. Don't do that over on EMBN, do you?
I think we actually do.
I've got a 10%
well,
deal
anyway, whatever you're getting has got GMBN written and not EMBN, so it's way cooler. Head over to the shop. We love getting your support, even at EMBN. It really helps us make the videos, get out there and get mountain biking to more people. So we appreciate it. We love seeing you out on the trails with our logos on. It's fantastic. Hacks and Bodges! and Bodges.
What are you doing? What are you
You're supposed to sing there, Steve.
I can't sing
Everyone
that.
knows that. Everyone knows. Anyway, right, let's get into hacks and Bodges. We're giving away a GMBN race top to the best one. Steve, start us off this week.
Okay, first of all, I'm a bit taken aback by that singing.
Sorry,
there,
Steve, I
Martyn.
didn't mean to shock you. I didn't
We've
mean to
got
shock
some kind of scaffold jiggy thing. I don't know.
Scaffold, it's 3D printed, come on.
It's 3D
what
printed
is it,
wheel
guys?
jig.
What is it?
It's for straightening wheels. It's a wheel jig, building wheels, in fact.
Right, okay.
So it's pretty cool, 3D printed. It's from JO in Portugal. I think it's pretty good, Chris, isn't it?
It's cool, isn't it? I think
good.
traditionally they're pretty expensive, those wheel jigs. You can
Yes.
get a few bodges going on to get your wheels straight.
This
but
one
getting
looks
a
good.
wheel jig is the way forward to get your wheels bang on straight.
So that's a hack. Now,
Whoa. But you can still, I'm guessing you can still bodge your wheel by putting in that jig, right?
yeah, you could do that, but that's
Okay, you
secondary,
see,
to,
they didn't make
secondary
that
to this point.
Okay.
But if you want a bodge, check out this from Nate.
No, that's not a bodge.
Look
What
at
the
that.
hell? That's amazing.
Hang on, just take in what's
Whoa,
going
that's
on
not
in this
a
bike.
bodge. That's not even a hack or a bodge. That's a genius.
Mate, look at it. Look at it. It's a BMX frame. It's got a mountain bike fork and front wheel, a 20-inch rear wheel, and a steering wheel instead of handlebars.
It's absolutely stunningly
That
gorgeous.
from Nate is an absolute disaster. That is the epitome
What is wrong with
of
you?
a bodge.
What is wrong with you?
So it's still got handlebars on, but a steering wheel in the middle
yeah,
of it,
so it
kind of
wouldn't
like a
even
Sam
steer.
Pilgrim
It
kind
wouldn't
of.
even steer. It would like push round.
How do you know that?
mean,
It might steer in Nate's world.
Unfortunately, Steve, you're here at my side and you're deciding who's the best one this week.
Oh dear.
So what are you going to
100,
pick? Is it the
100.
wheel- Wait,
100%.
Wait, it's
Well, the other
wheel
one's a
jig.
bodge. This is a work of art.
This is a bodge.
It's not.
What
The
are you
other one is
talking about?
the one that was is a machine which just
Chris,
encourages you.
help me out.
No, the other one is a machine
Chris, help me out.
that encourages you to bodge your
You've
wheels.
lost your mind. Are you having an episode?
Come on.
This is the epitome of a bodge. No, the one from Joe's a hack. It's good. It's good.
I think the creativity with Nate's is pretty off the charts.
Oh,
but
I think your
you're not
interpretation-
telling me we're giving a GMBN race top to this guy.
Not having it, Mark. Not having it. Nate is definitely having the top. Nate is on his way to your house, 100% first class post. And if we can't send it first class, Martyn will make sure to send it special delivery.
Well, hand deliver.
I'll send it right at you. I tell you what, there you go. It's proof that a bodge can win in hacks and bodges. Now, if you've got a hack or a bodge, or you want to send anything in to the Dirt Show on GMBN, then head over to our uploader. It's linked in the description down below, and you can send us your photos and your videos and get involved. Right, it is time for Caption Contest. Here's last week's Caption Contest photo. It's Rich devouring some poor prawn. What have we got? What's our captions? Chris, start us off.
Got this great one in from Matthew Acton Varian. He says, Rich not sharing his seafood platter proves he's the most shellfish GMBN presenter.
That's actually pretty good. That could be a stunt mug. Next one is from Colin Bird, and he says, Lobster says to Rich, I must be an MTBer because I've got a hardtail.
And finally, we've got Mike Rice after the ride of his life. Rich caught crabs.
They are the best. They're the best captions we've had in ages. All fairness. What are we going to give it to?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty
I
close.
really liked.
Isn't it?
Is it going to go to shellfish, hardtail, or
Shellfish
crabs?
is funny, isn't it?
I
Let's
do
go.
quite like that.
Colin Burden, you are the winner of a stunt mug. You get yourself a nice prize this week. Congratulations, it's on its way. That did not
Do
go
you
how
do
I
that every
expected.
week?
No.
Off your head, honestly.
it's a bit.
Don't throw it at him. Don't encourage him.
That's usually the best bit, though.
Well, the whole show.
No, because when he throws it in, you just look. When he throws it in,
Oh no.
you just go and just let it happen.
This is good fun. Can we do this? Come on.
Did you just see that?
Bounce back.
Do this. Come on. No.
Mark is unbelievable. Right, here's this week's Caption Contest photo. There you go. Give us your captions for that. See if you can do as well as the guys this week, because they were bloody brilliant. And you could be winning yourself a stunt mug next week. Okay, let's take a look at some things we liked this week. And we're starting out with this video from Caleb Holonko. It's called Lights Out. It's Pretty cool, this one, Chris. He's done some big lines, hasn't he?
Yeah, some big stuff here. I love the clear on that on-off feature where he doubles it from the top to the bottom, actually missing out that middle section. It's
cool.
Pretty cool. Just makes that, and of course that legendary train gap at the bottom.
Flips it.
Kind of flips it. I've never seen it. I've seen a few guys do tricks, but never a flip.
Yeah,
pretty crazy
some
stuff.
Good stuff. What about this, Steve? Have you seen Sam Pilgrim and Lubo going crazy
funny,
on their
right?
side act? Oh, I was laughing my ass off.
You see how bent the back wheel was going around that corner?
Yeah, but Sam can corner, can't he?
The pair of them can corner, I have to be honest.
Very good, very good. Like that a lot. Also, enjoyed this trials video from Andrea Marinelli. He's a founder of Bike Flip, actually, with Fabio Widmer, who makes a guest appearance in this video. It's really cool. Lots of drone shots, FPV drone, following him around this amazing Italian town. It's a pretty cool trials video, I liked it. And he's on Full Sus Canyon, so it's pretty hard to do that stuff on that bike. Pretty interesting stuff that I saw this week that I liked. And let us know if there's anything we've missed we should have liked this week.
Well, actually, there is, Martin. Did you see Chris Ackrig going over the rock?
He can ride, can't he?
He can ride, and he seems to have got it wrong. Now, what do you think about this?
Well, the thing is with Chris, he can ride both feet forward. He hasn't got a front foot. Well, he has, but not as much as most people. So he just rode it straight off.
The difficulty with this, he's on his e-mountain bike. I had to bring some e-mountain bike stuff into it.
Yeah.
The difficulty with it is managing the motor, your timing, the part of the rock where you go off. There's a lot involved in that. You're braking. It's complicated.
Overrun of the motor, things you wouldn't really understand.
Yeah,
You can't say that.
I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't understand.
You
right.
wouldn't understand.
I
Did you
wouldn't
just say
understand that bit of riding because I'd have got the pedalling right at the bottom.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have made the mistake in the first place.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made the first mistake. It's typical Chris Ackrig for you. Okay, coming up this week on the channel, we've got some brilliant videos, but one, because you guys are here, I can't wait to see, is how hard you can ride e-bikes. We've got some proper mountain bike riders onto e-bikes to see how hard you can push them, because you guys don't push them hard enough. So we're sorting that problem out. It's going to be a fun video watch. Look at Blake and Neil on there.
I'm looking forward to seeing that video. I'm looking forward to seeing whether it's biased towards downhill or maybe free ride, or actually if it's a more rounded video, but actually how hard you can ride an e-mountain or ride e-bike up, down, along and across.
Well, it'll be like nice for you to see real riders on e-bikes.
And on the weekend on EMBN, we have actually got Rich Payne from GMBN on a monumental ride on the Tour de Comban, which is a mountain which is south of Mont Blanc. Goes alongside glaciers, some truly insane mountain bike passes. Technicality, uphill, off the charts.
Yeah.
Downhill single track, off the charts. That is pushing an e-mountain bike to its limits.
And who did we get to do it? A GMBN presenter.
That's sharp, that is. That's good. I like that.
Time for the bike vault, and we're starting off with...
it's time for the weird old world of old-fashioned bikes.
Retro.
Steve, you don't want to start that, do you? It's a hardtail special this week, so it's right up your street.
Oh, I love a good hardtail.
First one, Ken, 2022 Mongoose. What do you think of this one? It's original. It's unique.
I quite like the idea of a wide tyre. I'm not sure. You don't have to call it fat. I think it's just a wide tyre that gives you traction, and on a hardtail, more cushioning kind of makes sense.
What do you think, Chris? Like it? Nice?
I'm liking it. I think it's nice, yeah.
It's nice. Next up, we've got Matthews Stanton Slackline Hardtail. Nice colour fade. Chris?
I like the fade going from the ferns of like the copper at the front to the tree, which just kind of matches the back.
You feel like he's done it on purpose?
Yeah, it almost looks like he's sliced it in half down the tree. So I think super nice.
No, you said it now.
Super nice.
Super nice. Right, next up, we have got a right mess. This is from Nick.
Chromag Samurai.
This is all sorts of things. Well, it's a gravel bike, isn't it? It's a gravel bike, rigid front end as well.
This is the sort of bike I could see you on, Steve. I think something like this, cruising around the woods.
I think it's a nice. The next shot is great. I mean, this. I think it's a beautiful shot. Wow. This next shot. If you're going to go hardtail, go full rigid. I reckon.
Yeah,
and I think this is a rocket, Maxim rocket. I think it's lovely. I think it's a super nice shot.
You think it's a super nice shot or
the
bike?
tan walls,
I think it's a super nice bike and super nice shot.
Cantilever brakes. Nice.
Well done,
Super
Anthony.
nice.
You've got yourself a super nice. Next up, we've got, here you go. Nice Trek hardtail from William. Is Trek Marlin 7. I mean, that's a good one. That's a nice bike. That's a nice bike.
It looks fast, I think.
Yeah, it looks fast.
Can we have a photography angle on this? It's always a shame when people prop their bikes up and there's a big stick or post coming through the shot.
Yeah, so we'll stick it a nice on that one. Miguel's Canyon Pathlight 7.
It's nice to have a portrait style shot in the
but
bike.
I need the pedal at 3 o'clock would be nice.
So it's a versatile bike, can do a bit of everything, even road riding on this thing, keep up with his mates and hit the trail. So a bit of an all-rounder.
That's downgraded it to a nice right away. Now we've got Artie's Genesis Tarn frame, 140mm Fox 34 at the front. I like this one. He looks like he must be a big dude, because that looks like a big bike. What do you think?
Well, he does say it's made to replace the bike he grew up on.
Well, there you go. I'd say it's a nice.
Definitely.
Oh, I don't want to.
Well, he rode a bike for 90.
That's the last bike.
He actually rode.
Come on, let's end it on a high note. It's
Well,
super
it
nice.
is high, and he's a tall bloke. It's on a high. You got it all right, but he's ridden that bike for 90
It feels
years.
like a
play.
it feels like a consolation prize at this point.
No, come on. I think it's a good story. It's a
I'll
nice
tell you what,
bike.
you just
It's gotta
get you just get an out.
It's semi-nice.
Well done. You've got yourself a semi-arty. Nice. Well, there you go. We're out the bike vault, but please send us in your bikes to the GMBN uploader, and maybe you can get yourself a super nice next week. Wasn't easy to get super nice.
Or actually, can even get yourself an in-betweener now on the bike vault
you
too.
can get
New
yourself a
category.
semi. Yes, why not? Guys, thanks so much for joining me this week. It's been great to have EMBN. Hasn't it been good joining us? We've had a bit of fun. Let us know about the crazy lines you guys are doing and which ones you think are hardest, and maybe some we've missed. And give us, I guess we want a like and a love and a subscribe and a share, don't we?
We do, for sure.
But I guess it's goodbye from us. We'll see you next week on the Dirt Shed Show, and make sure you don't miss any of GMBN videos this week. See you later.